We are.
Are we live?
I think we're live.
Sweet.
Yeah. Hi everybody. We are Vicetone, back in the studio again after a couple months of touring, and we thought we were gonna do another live stream. We are live on YouTube. Let's see. There we go.
YouTube and Instagram.
And
What's up,
Facebook,
everyone?
I think.
Been a while.
I think we need to turn down the light. Pretty heavy.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. We have these lights back here.
How does this look?
I have to see. What's up, guys? Alright, so we're here to answer some questions. We're here to show you some stuff in the studio if you guys want to. There we go. Alright, so ask us anything you want, and we'll try to answer all your questions. This is much better, by the way.
Yeah.
Nice job.
We'll switch between you guys and you guys.
Yeah, so that's YouTube and Facebook. That's Instagram right there. So let's get this party started. Hallo, wanneer komen jullie naar Nederland? That means when are we coming to Holland? We were actually there for a little bit of time off.
Yeah.
Which was nice. But as far as the next show, we can't tell yet. Hopefully soon.
Not this year, because we're touring North America first, and then we're going to China. But hopefully next year.
Speak loudly, please. Okay, I think maybe the music.
Louder?
Yeah.
What about this?
Damn it, Victor, you fuck.
Is this better?
Hopefully this
Let
is
us
better.
know.
What program are you using? Alright, so we use Ableton Live for all our, productions, and when we record vocals we use Studio One, which is a great program.
Yeah.
And so we use two DAWs to get, but most of our stuff is done in Ableton. So,
For sure.
Ableton is the bomb.
Which is your favorite Vicetone track? We always get this.
Ask us something unique.
Yeah.
I don't know, like for me, for nostalgic reasons, I like the Sparks remix. I don't know how many of you guys are from the olden days and know that song, because it's like 7 years old now, or 6. And but that one, I really like that
The
one.
Sparks remix was the first one that came on Dutch radio, so that was a big moment for us.
Yeah.
I remember going to my studio, we bought some champagne to celebrate. It was a really good time.
Please come and tour Indonesia. We were there like 2 months ago. We were in Jakarta. I can't remember what the club was called, but it was a super good show. And we played in Bali too.
How do you guys overcome the battle of finding your sound? Do you mean per track or at the beginning? Because that's a different battle.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
And for us, there's a lot of experimentation, but also what's really difficult and important is that you take the sounds that you hear in your head, because often we hear the track in our head, like completed, and then getting that sound that's in your head into reality. And that's not easy. But, as with everything, you just need to practice a lot, which we have extensively.
Yeah, what also helps is if you have a melody you really like, just produce, 5 to 10 sounds and see what direction you like better. And then it's easier, if you have a choice, it's easier to pick a good direction.
Exactly. Are you guys planning to go to Chicago? Yes!
Oh yeah.
When is the date? We're going to Prism in Chicago, I believe November 1st.
Yeah, we just if you go to our Facebook page, you can see the banner that has all the dates, or just on Instagram. We just released
or
the
our
tour
website,
flyer. Yeah,
vicetone.com. All the tour dates are on there. The tickets or links to the tickets there. But we are coming back to Chicago, playing Prism, which is an amazing club. Any new music you guys got coming out soon? Yes. So we're in the process of finishing mixing and mastering our next single, which you just have to wait for it. But it's a very, very cool, unique kind of sound that's sort of a throwback to a couple of older songs that we've done, and we're really excited about this one. So that's gonna be good.
Yep. So Someone asked, who is the most perfectionist dude of Vicetone?
I feel like when it comes to mix details, it's probably me,
Yeah.
right?
I think so.
As far as like frequency balance, making it sound good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably you, but close second.
Close.
Close
Yeah,
second.
it's we're both very perfectionistic as when it comes to music, at least. Do you have any tips for a fellow producer? You gotta work hard, man. It's really hard work in the beginning. You know, we spend at least 2 years just learning everything, learning all the plugins, learning the techniques, finding out what plugins we really like, what DAWs to use. You know, he came from Fruity Loops
Yep.
back in the day, and I converted him to Ableton because I like Ableton, and now you do too.
Yeah, it's easy to work in the same program, but I like Ableton better, definitely.
Yeah, but even that, like every DAW does the same thing. It's just you need to work really hard for it, and you need to want it, and this is the only thing that we really want to do
Yeah.
with our lives. So, for us, it was natural to sort of progress into doing this, and even before we made our first dollar selling or selling our music or doing a tour, we've been doing it for more than a year, and we love doing it. Even we always said too, like we would do this even if we didn't get paid, because it's so much fun for us, and it's honestly the only thing we're good at.
Yeah.
All right, let's do an Instagram one.
Yeah, let me scroll down. When you were studying music, how was your daily activities?
Well, we didn't
study music.
We didn't study music. No studying. No, we dropped out of college. We did a boring, standard college courses.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with music, unfortunately. That's why we dropped out.
Well, it was a transition from never going to classes anymore and just solely working on tracks to dropping out eventually.
Yeah.
So we only worked on music every day.
Every day.
Every single day.
Yeah, and we loved it. And that was like, it was at my parents' house, and I had built a studio by myself, and I built some of my own bass traps, which you remember.
Yeah.
I was going to like building factories, trying to get the right stuff for the bass traps. Building everything from scratch took months. And then we just started, making music, and we knew this is the best. We wanted to do this for the rest of our lives. Un saludo desde Costa Rica.
How much time did it take you to create the masterpiece Astronomia?
Well, 3 days, 2
yeah,
days.
that was 2 or 3 days. It was very quick.
Very quick. And most of that is because the lead sound got there right away. Like sometimes it takes a long time to sort of polish that lead sound, the main one. In Astronomia, honestly, it took like 30 minutes, an hour. And sometimes you just get lucky, and then you have those moments where that sound like instantly works, it sits well in the mix, and when you have that, it becomes a lot easier to finish a track. So 3 days, I'd
It was
say.
kind of exciting how fast we got it finished, because all the other tracks took way longer. And I remember you sending the sound and the mix down already, and then we just nailed down the breaks in a day. It was exciting.
Shouldn't you put that one closer to?
Well, that's when you cannot see us both.
Oh, that's right.
So,
Okay.
This is probably
Instagram.
max.
Waiting was so good. How did you guys come up with the drop, and who wrote the lyrics? So, the lyrics, we had a studio session in LA last year. 2018, right? I think.
Yeah, or 17.
Or
I think.
17.
Yeah.
And with two very talented writers. And we already had the instrumental ready. We already had, I think we didn't have the drop melody yet, but we had all the chords. So it's basically all the verse and pre and hook parts.
Yeah.
And we really knew, like, we really loved that song, but we still needed to get a drop melody. And actually, the way we came up with that was just multiple ideas. I think you had two and I had two, and then we sort of went back and forth. So I would send my idea to him, and he would give me his idea, and then at that point I will make some edits, he makes some edits, and then very, like, I don't know, objectively we're trying to say, okay, this is the most catchy, this is our favorite melody, and after that point we just select one, and that's kind of that's kind of how that one came together. Some tracks were like, oh, this is the lead melody, boom, that's it.
Yeah.
Like we have it. But this one was not like
This one
that.
took a little longer.
Yeah, this one definitely did not finish in 3 days. Nevada, White Lies, Weapon Remix. Can we get such songs again, please?
Come to Vietnam. Oh man, we have to go back.
Yeah.
Vietnam was so sick.
You mentioned you were working on a collab on the Reddit AMA. Can we get some more information about that? No, we can't give more information. Just be patient. Where did your inspiration to make music come from? It comes from everything. It comes from everything. I want everyone watching right now to ask us some unique, cool questions.
Could be very personal. Just whatever.
Well,
Not very personal. A little.
ask us some stuff that we haven't answered in the previous live streams. Because the last live stream we did was like 1 year ago.
Yeah, it was a year ago, yeah. Can you speak Dutch? Well,
Tuurlijk.
natuurlijk, we zijn Nederlands. So, there you go.
How long did it take you to remix Sparks? And was it made in one project? Yeah, it was one project. And how long did it take? That one, I had the melody before we had the remix. Do you remember Water Drops? And I had a little clip of it.
Yeah.
And then one time he came in the studio and said, hey, I found this vocal of this song from Fede Legrand and Nicky Romero and Matthew Goma. And I put this Water Drops melody, that was just the name we gave it, underneath it. And it fitted like a glove. And that's when we knew we gotta make this remix.
Yeah.
And it took like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
pretty quick.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things where once you have the melody working with the vocal and it's just a good match, then, you know, that's when you can work fast.
With a question about No Way Out. What was the process like in No Way Out? Was it any different than other songs, and who wrote those amazing lyrics? Well, I remember first time we went to LA for studio sessions.
Yeah.
It was our first trip ever, so that's different than all the other songs we wrote before. We went to the studio with Kat, and she had a writer with him. With her, sorry, Kat. Named Coffee. He's very talented too. And yeah, we wrote that song in, I think, a day or two. Took us 2 studio sessions.
Yeah, 2 sessions.
And it was such a great experience. It was the first time, and she was amazing in the vocal booth. Just an amazing voice.
So confident. She nailed it.
Yeah.
She's still extremely talented. Who did you guys grow up listening to? Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Eminem. I was a huge Eminem fan when I grew up. And the thing I loved most about his music was just the power and the emotion he had in his vocals. And also just anger. I love that. I love that. Like, you could hear he meant what he was rapping about. And then Dr. Dre and 50 Cent was just some of the catchiest beats. Back then, you know, In the Club, 21 Questions, Hate It or Love It, and Dr. Dre, The Chronic, 2001, you know, and all the songs that he produced on the Slim Shady LP, Eminem Show, and later, just incredible. As far as like old producers or old school producers who've influenced us, Dr. Dre is up there, and
For sure.
and you the same thing, right? But also
I remember the first album I bought was the Justin Timberlake album, Justified, which had awesome songs on it.
produced by Timbaland.
Yeah. Rock Your Body, Senorita.
Oh my god.
Like The Way I Love You. Those are so sick.
Yeah, they're greatly produced. Oh, Cry Me a River.
Yeah.
You forgot about that one.
The best one.
That's the best one. Yeah. Is it possible you come to Spain? Yes. We really want to come back. Every time we've played there, whether it's Valencia or Alicante or Bilbao, every time you guys go super hard. And I think it's the country where we play the latest set times. Like, we start at 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, by far, that's the country where you guys go all night. So we definitely want to come back.
For sure.
Oh, this guy asks, can you give tips on how to make a drop commercially loud? Get a limiter and push that shit.
All the way up.
Turn it up to 11. That's the secret though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's secret. You know,
Push it until it starts distorting and you don't like the sound anymore. Then go back a little bit.
it's obviously more complicated. than that.
Basics.
But
of
I
limiting.
mean, loud tracks usually mean a lot of limiters or just one limiter just squashing the shit out of a track. That's commercial loudness for you. If you could have made a soundtrack for any movie, what movie would you pick?
Oh, that's a good question. You know what? I like Interstellar a lot. And I like the vibey chords and like the old school synth little arps that are in there.
Well, there's a
And
lot of organs too.
a lot of organs. A lot of, you know, it's just a very open vibe because it's space and it feels
Vibey. But
Yeah.
the question is, what film would you produce? It's not about what you like.
What film would I produce over? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Yeah, over Interstellar. Music,
Oh,
right?
okay, yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean, you could work with those type of video. I mean, we did United We Dance, which is not a movie, of course, but it's like a small after movie for Ultra 2014, I think.
Yeah.
And that was cool because we got the images, the video footage, before we made the song. And so we could work around the footage. And the video director really wanted several parts, like a quiet part, an emotional part, a super dancey part, like a super hard part. And so we had to fill in all the blanks, if you will, to match it with the video. And that's really fun. And not something we do all the time.
No.
We come to Jakarta Warehouse Project. We were in Jakarta, assuming you mean the city in Indonesia, and we were there about 2 months ago. So I don't know if we're coming to that one though.
Are we coming to India? Man, we have to. Because we see so many comments and so many people from India right now that are commenting. So yeah, we gotta go to India.
Is it necessary to have knowledge of the instrument? I guess he means a instrument to become a producer. No. The answer is no. It's all about what you have in your head as far as melody goes and song ideas, and then to get that from your head to reality. So using your DAW, like Ableton, Fruity Loops, Logic, Cubase, Studio One, anything you want to use, and make it reality. So you don't need to, you know,
Does it help?
it
Yeah.
helps, but it's not necessary.
No.
Are you planning to visit? A lot of questions about whether we're coming to countries. Are there some more?
Yeah, someone is asking if we can get our opinion on his music after this. I mean, send it over to info@vicetone.com. We'll have a listen. Sure.
How often do you use saturation? So saturation, for those not in the know or not producers, is a type of sort of, it's in between hard compression and distortions, like a softer distortion almost,
Yeah.
in layman's terms. And we use it quite often, especially on stuff like bass lines and occasionally drums. But I wouldn't say it's like a super important thing, that if you don't use saturation, you can't have good sounding tracks.
No.
But it helps sometimes.
You can get nice saturation if you push it a little bit too much in a limiter. Sometimes the bass will sound really gritty. So that's also a possibility.
What were the feelings you guys had when you heard your own song on the radio for the first time? It's fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You can't believe, it's hard to believe because, you know, we grew up, especially back in the day when we didn't have Spotify when we grew up. We had YouTube for the later part of our childhood, but even before that, radio was the best way to find new music. And so, you know, we grew up listening to radio, and then to one day tune in and hear your own song on it, it's very surreal because you know it inside and out from working on it for days or weeks sometimes in the studio, and now suddenly you hear it in a radio show amongst with all these other professionally produced songs. And so for the first time we heard that, you know, like 6 years ago or 7, it was an incredible feeling. And like, you know, when you then hear your song more often, it's not the same feeling as
No.
when you hear it the first time. The first time is very special.
It's special because you spend months and months in your studio and you just see the comments, but that's not the same as hearing it for the first time on the radio or playing it live for the first time, for
Exactly.
example. That's really when it kind of hits you, like,
Exactly.
the really proud moments.
Someone asked, how did you meet each other? We met in high school when we were 15, and we had an economy class, if I recall correctly. And we bonded.
Yeah.
That was the first time we met in class. And then we bonded over having the same taste in music. Same interest. We liked video games. We played a lot of FIFA back then, which we don't play anymore.
No.
And that's kind of how we got started, being friends. And then after a few years of, being friends, it was very natural to get into music production because we already knew each other very well. So you can be really honest with each other, and that's very important if you want to make music that, you think is good.
And if you want to do it long with a duo like this, being friends is so important.
Yeah.
It makes it so much easier and so much more fun too.
Exactly. If you're a producer, are you obligated to be a DJ as well? Yeah. Once you're a producer, eventually you get a contract in the mail. Like a sort of like this official document that says, we notice that you've been a producer. We require you to go out and DJ now.
Yeah.
No, of course not. You don't have to. And I'm sure there are producers that do dance music who don't DJ at all. We do it because we love it. And, it also helps pay our bills. And honestly, the most important is the feeling that you get when you play your own song in front of a crowd. I'm sure some of you have seen our shows. The feeling we get watching you guys sing along with our songs, or just going absolutely mental hearing it, that's unbeatable. That's the highest form of satisfaction you can get almost. And I feel like every DJ will say this. If you see people react this way to your own song, and you're there in front of a crowd that goes ballistic, it's amazing. I mean, when we were in China, we played Nevada, and this happened too in Canada and the US, and some crowds, everybody will know this song, and they will all start singing along, and that feeling is just...
It's basically unbeatable.
It's unbeatable.
It's amazing.
So that's the dream for most producers. Getting your song to be sung out loud by a whole crowd is incredible. So we wouldn't give up DJing for the world.
Oh no. I have a very personal question.
Oh boy.
Do you order sambal when you order Chinese food? Is it Chinese?
Can we give some props to the guy or girl who gave that question?
Yeah.
Because that's a unique question. I like that.
Yeah, that's an awesome question. Well, they don't sell sambal in the United States. At least we couldn't find it, so we import it from Netherlands.
There's this website that lets you import Dutch products, and you pay a pretty hefty shipping fee because it needs to be shipped all the way from Holland. But we do it like 3 times a year or so. We get like stroopwafels, boterkoek, kaas, which is
huge cheese.
Yeah, huge cheese, because the cheese in Holland is just so good.
It's amazing.
But yeah, good question. We get sambal, and we make our own shit.
Yeah, we use it for salmon sometimes.
Yeah.
Scroll down here.
You order salmon.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I like that.
Do you both go to the gym? Yeah, we do work out, because we feel that it does make you feel a lot better if you...
It helps me sleep a lot better.
Yeah.
Once you do some physical activity.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yes.
I can't even think of anything more to say. Some dude asks virginity status. Like, we're gonna talk about that on this live stream. Also, we're 27. What do you think? Would you ever do a show in Jamaica? Of course. Of course.
Yeah. What is your favorite fruit?
Fruit?
Yeah.
Okay, I used to say mango, because mango is so sweet and nice. Recently, it's been just an orange. Peel the fucker up, just eat it.
Yeah.
So good.
Mine is man, we make smoothies with pineapple and then bananas and berries, and those are amazing.
Yeah, but that's 3 foods, dude.
So, but pineapple probably. Just a good ripe pineapple. You need to find the right ripeness.
Okay,
With every fruit, by the way.
Do you have a favorite beer? Not really. Not really big on beer.
No.
Surprisingly enough. But he has his favorite whiskey, which is Maker's Mark.
Yeah, good.
Can you say my name? Verdian Anugra. I think. Do you think studying music production at college is good? I mean, we really can't answer that because we've never gone to any school for music. So, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. We kind of, our philosophy, because we learn everything ourselves, is that do it yourself is, such a good way to learn something because everything is your own hands. How much time do you want to spend on it? How deep do you want to go with your research? And I'm pretty sure we use techniques in our music production that would break sort of the rules or would be considered not smart in a school setting, music production school setting. Again, I'm not sure, but sometimes you read these overall guides. When we first started, you would read these guides of do's and don'ts, right? Like, cut out low end for most frequencies, and don't boost too much. Do cutting, and I mean we we boost a lot, and in certain instances, certain chains, and it doesn't really matter as long as it sounds good. You can do what you want. So to answer your question, is our music production schools good? I don't know. We've not been to one. Maybe they are, but only one way to find out, I guess.
How to deal with muscle soreness while producing music? Well, not sure what you mean exactly. It's like playing or producing, but
I imagine this guy just like being super pumped. It's like,
oh my,
yeah.
I mean,
why would we know that?
it is, it is good to take breaks and go for walks and running because it is not very good for your back to sit a lot.
Well, I mean, music. Technically, we have to sit like this.
Yeah, that's the right way, but it's such a...
Like the Gus Fring way. Anyone who watches Breaking Bad, and you notice how Gus Fring always sits up like super straight. And that's kind of how you're supposed to sit the whole time. But I can't.
So that's how you deal with it.
Yeah, I
Just
can't
sit
do
the
it
right
though.
way.
Thanks for Nevada. You are welcome.
You're welcome.
Can you guys give up making music if lover says so? I think I think he means if, like my girlfriend or your girlfriend would say, give up music. And the answer is, fuck no. Fuck no. I mean, that's basic, like, searching a good partner, Like, we would never date anybody who's not down with their music or doesn't accept the fact that we want to make music the whole day and that we devote our lives to this. That's just part of the equation. And I think to give that all up for a relationship is just not healthy. So, no. And I don't know, why would anyone do that? If you have a passion, doesn't matter what it is, don't give that up because you're dating someone who hates that.
Please don't. Yeah.
Probably better to just find someone who you can share that passion with,
It's good advice.
Fucking relationship advice. You're welcome.
So, there was one question about what this panel is. I don't think you can see it on the YouTube stream, but you can see it on Instagram. It's a diffuser and an absorber at the same time, and it's from GIK Acoustics because you asked for
and
the
it's
brand.
Awesome.
It's really good.
So it does. Yeah. So I mean, can we move the camera or no? That's probably not. Yeah. Basically, all these things are bass traps, and we actually have them, planned out pretty well because those bass traps over here, the tall ones, they absorb a lot of low end, because in the corners of a room is where most of the low end comes, and you want to absorb that to get a better sound. We have 2 subwoofers in each studio. Gives us a really rich and deep low end, which we really like working with. And then that thing, I mean, you might not see, but they can. Is a combination.
Yeah, this one. Boop.
It's,
this one.
Yeah.
This is the absorber.
What are your thoughts on your song Beast? We love it. I mean, we wouldn't release a song that we didn't love, so of course we like it, and we still play it pretty regularly in our live sets. So come check that out. Did you enjoy making music back in the day when you started as a duo, or do you felt producer's block? No, we loved it. And honestly, I feel like we've been pretty lucky with... If we, like, I don't know what you... If you mean producer's block, like, oh, I can't... Like a writer's block, oh, I can't think of anything, just do something else. It doesn't make any sense, for us at least, to sort of try to hammer down the track, like I'm just gonna force our way through. That's A, not fun for us.
No.
And music should be fun. And B, like, it never really turns out that great. So do something else. Play a video game, play a sport, I don't know, read a book, watch a TV show, and then you might very well get inspired. And so we just want to keep it fun, you know? Music production should be fun. And hopefully you can hear that in the music we make too. We love doing it.
Some more there. Let me see.
What are your PC specifications for music production? There you go.
Nice.
Well, where to start? So we're really big on building our own PCs, and we've done so for the last few years.
Yeah.
It started like years ago. And so our music rigs are 18-core systems. They're water-cooled with custom loops. So we got like dual pump, you know, dual radiators, 10 fans. We cool the motherboard too with liquid. And because we're doing water cooling, it's super silent. So we use only Noctua fans, which means that right now, even when we're working, and it's like a 250 channel project, which happens a lot actually, because if you have big vocal chains, like it just takes up so much space, and then you want to add a little delay and reverb and some effects, and before you know it, you're at 200 channels. And it stays silent. This computer stays silent because we have so many fans cooling it, water cooling it. So that is awesome.
Yeah, you cannot hear it at all.
No, and it's 18 cores, it's overclocked to the max, and you know, it's really nice to work on a computer that just doesn't choke. And we have a really good sound card, so you guys can see it. RME right here. This is a UFX Plus. It's like this one.
Yeah.
It's such a good sound card. I can't believe it. We have it linked up with Thunderbolt, and it's rock solid stable. It records really high quality. In Collide, we recorded the guitars through the preamps here.
Yeah.
In Feels Like and in not Fences. Yeah, it Feels Like we recorded the vocals through the preamps in here too. Awesome, amazing. So like a good sound card and a good PC really helps you a lot.
And a nice big screen too.
Yeah, like a big screen helps. I mean, you don't need it. You can work off a laptop too, but I mean, we like it.
We like to push our limits.
Yeah.
The Elements background, I know, right?
All right, ask us some interesting stuff. Left from field stuff. Just some, you know what I mean? Maybe, you know what? Victor, you take a question. I'm gonna look at Facebook right now.
How do... It's like a lot of producers trying to find good tips. Any more tutorials coming up? You know, we probably should do that. And we could do it for our next song that's coming up.
What kind of stuff do you guys want to know about? I mean, this is the best way because right now we're live and you can just ask us anything and we'll give you an answer. But if there's anything that you guys want to know in particular, just ask us right now. It's probably the best way.
Oh yeah, Facebook questions.
Why did you pick the name Vicetone? No, we just liked it. Honestly, I like the word Vice, he liked the word tone, and that's kind of how it came together.
Yeah. It's the most boring story.
Oh, I like this question. Which of you is the best chef? That's you.
Well, we cook together though.
Yeah.
But I like making breakfast.
Yeah, his breakfast is bomb AF.
I don't know if making coffee is part of being a chef, but I make good
no,
coffee.
No, that's a barista, dude.
A barista.
Barista.
Yeah.
Puts on his glasses. Puts on his vegan T-shirt.
Yeah. But
brews the craziest coffee you've ever drank. No, but like we like cooking. Best chef. We're both pretty good.
We're both good.
Yeah. Distortion tips. Just distortion tips. Try multi-band distortion. Yeah. Experiment. Get crazy change. There are no rules. Just do a lot of experimentation with distortion, especially something with distortion, depending on the source sound. I mean, it's sometimes really hard to predict, especially if you select different distortion types. Trash is good. Guitar rig is good. Saturn is good. And even inbuilt, like Ableton is a really good distortion plugin too. Redux is also good.
Xbox or PlayStation? Both.
Both, come on now. The thing is, like with PlayStation, they have too many good exclusives to not play PlayStation.
Yeah.
We played
What's the last one we played?
Detroit?
Detroit Becomes
Yeah,
Human.
Detroit Become Human. And that one was super good. I really enjoyed that one. It's like a good story, you know. Like your choices had impact. You know, it's fun. Good. Who would win at FIFA? Already talked about that last stream, mate. Like it's a toss up every time.
Yeah, it's a toss up. It's not a fun toss up either, because we get too invested.
And someone's bound to get annoyed or butthurt.
And there's never a good goal from the other the other team.
All goals against you are ugly. Always.
Or cheating.
What is the best song ever made in the history of music? And why is it Walk Through Fire Boston? I love these questions. They're so good. Well, I don't know. Best song ever? It's too hard to pick. There's I can't pick that. It's a really hard question, but I do like your answer though.
Yeah.
What VST do you guys use for lead sound design? I mean, it depends. Like sometimes the leads are from samples. Most of the time they're from synthesizers. And as far as synths go, you know, it's honestly the same thing that other... I feel like I keep doing this, and it might be really annoying. So I'm just gonna be like Gustavo Fring.
I'll put you more here.
Super still, okay? As
Something
far as
like
synth, as far as synths go, you know, Serum is good, Diva is good. I mean, Silent is great.
Yeah.
Spire's great. Like, there's so many. So I mean, honestly, there's too many synths to choose from.
Do you deal with PC or DAW crashes? Yes. I don't think that's something that will ever change, ever, because it's been doing this for since we started.
We've had our share. We've had our share of just ridiculous Ableton bugs. There was one time. Does anyone remember Lowdown 2013? Our track Lowdown, you can Google it.
Yeah.
Had the craziest bug. One of the craziest bugs that we've experienced yet. And that was when, in the middle of the track, the main breakdown, no matter what we did, it would skip like half a second of music. And so it would glitch every time we rendered it, every single time. So we cleaned all the channels, we removed all the plugins, we deleted all the channels until there was one left and see if it still did it. And the solution ultimately was to just use an older render that we had and sort of patch it into the mastering process. Crossfaded it in. Like you couldn't hear it ultimately, but we were lucky that we had an older render. Sometimes these things happen, crashes, weird bugs, and I don't think that's ever going to go away. And I know that Cubase has also had a lot of weird bugs. Same with Studio One and Logic. You hear these stories, and it's just, you know, the trade-off of using software DAW.
Sometimes fixing a bug when you don't know what it is can take days. Sometimes like weeks even. If you don't know what it is and you can't find the culprit, it's very annoying. But it makes you learn the DAW better. You like really dive into every little detail. What could be the problem? So
and
that's
the computer.
The only positive thing.
Yeah,
and the computer. Do you guys can sing? No.
No, not really.
Not really.
Is Avicii the best EDM producer? He's definitely our favorite. Even still, I mean, he's probably had the biggest impact on our, you know, musical upbringing of any EDM artist, you know, and man, it still sucks thinking about it, and it's crazy how big his impact was, given that I think he was our age or roughly our age when he passed. And I mean, he's achieved so much. Like, it's just incredible. There's really no comparison, really.
No.
To what he did and what he was able to achieve in just a few years. It's absolutely nuts. Do you guys have any explanation as to why some artists have a big library of unreleased tracks with absolute bangers that have never... Yeah, I mean, we have a huge library of unreleased songs. And sometimes you make a song, you finish it, and you forget it. That's what happened with South Beach, for example. We had it finished, I mean, we did some mix edits, but it was finished for like at least a couple of years.
It was one of the first songs we ever made. So
Yeah, you're by the way, you're not in the video at all.
I should stay here.
And sometimes you just either you forget, or you just move on to other projects, and then you think I might come back to it later. If you have a lot of output, then that just, you know, it happens. And if you release too many songs in a year, like one song every 3 weeks, it's just too much.
Yeah.
People get like kind of, every release is less special because, oh, here's another one. Oh, here's release number 20 this year. And it's a fine balance between how much output you want to have and you know, how selective you want to be. It's always, you know, a balancing game. How did you create the remix of Ride or Die? I think that was mostly your idea, right?
How did it start? Yeah, we got the vocal from our management.
Yeah.
And they wanted to have us remixing it because that was they wanted to have like a little progressive dancey sound to it. And I was on a treadmill, I remember, just running, because sometimes just creativity comes from doing different
Treadmill
stuff.
or the shower?
The shower.
Yeah.
Treadmill or shower for me. And then the whole melody was in my head. Sometimes it just happens when the entire melody is in your head and you know what kind of sound you want.
I had that with Overtime remix. You remember that?
Yeah.
I had when we remixed Overtime, same thing, same situation. We had a remix, and suddenly the melody just comes in your head. And I remember running to my studio, same thing you did.
Yeah.
And you just draw it out and it works, and then we're like, that works great. Usually, if you do hear it in your head, like, it's usually also good. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
For some reason, or at least we like it.
Yeah, so I mean, if any of you ever remixes tracks, start by just listening to the acapella and just walk around or something, or go do groceries, take a shower, and then, you know, you'll automatically kind of work on that acapella yourself. At least that's with us, that's the case.
This guy asks, do you ever wear formals to work? With formals, do you mean like formal clothing? Because the answer is definitely no.
To work, what do you mean?
Yeah,
sitting here.
Sitting here, yeah, as if we would dress up here. No, all our studios are at our home. So like we have 2 studios here, and we have some studios in Holland, and so we never have to leave the house to work on music.
Yeah.
And for us personally, that's a huge factor. I hate getting ready and jump in a car to go make music. I just wanna, especially you too. You know, you never.
I love my pajamas.
You don't even fucking shower, mate.
I did now.
You did now, yeah. But so, you know, for everyone's different. So no. And when we tour, we wear comfy clothes.
Yeah.
No suits, no, you know, weird no formal tuxedos or anything like that, because it's not comfortable. And when you're traveling, you want to be comfortable. So no. And sometimes when we're flying business class, people look at us like, yeah, these guys definitely do not belong here, because we look like we just had a rough night. And sometimes we had, you know, staying up very late.
And if you tour so much, you don't care anymore
No.
about what you look like. So
especially not when you're traveling
No.
or in your studio by yourself.
How can I get your signature? Come to our shows. That's
Come to our
probably
shows, yeah.
the best way to get them.
We always try to make time for you guys with pictures and
Yeah.
And signatures, signing your stuff, and especially if you guys have custom or like any sort of, you know, shirt or whatever, anything, we'll be happy to do that. What were you guys going for when creating Angels? I wanted something sassy, sexy. You know, it's like a sexy song. And Kat's voice is perfect for that instrumental, because she's very, you know, like a very powerful, but sort of like a sassy voice, like a lot of power. So that's what we were going for.
Do you guys miss the Netherlands?
That's a fair question.
Yeah, if we're here, because we travel back and forth between the US and the Netherlands, and sometimes we go on tour for a month by voorbeeld. Starting to speak
Dunglish.
starting to speak Dunglish to Asia. But yeah, I mean, all our family is there, so we definitely plan our time that
But when we're here, we don't really miss it that much. We get the food, you know, we're in touch with our parents, and it's fine here. We have our friends here. We have our lives here. We and it's just fun to be in. Like we have our house here, like these nice, super nice studios. It's great. Like for us, it's just a brilliant situation.
It is.
When you started as a duo, how many tracks were you finishing monthly? Well, when we started out, we did this non-stop work. That we didn't take any breaks, and was just every single day you were over at my house, and just like every day. So we would finish at least 3 to 4 songs monthly. But that's hard to sustain once you get touring, and once your quality of the songs go up, and you deal with actual vocals. In the beginning, we didn't record any vocals because we didn't know anybody.
No.
Right? We didn't know anyone who was doing music. At I only knew him. So that time we would just work like we had like 3-4 songs a month, but that's hard to sustain once you go touring again.
Who's the most famous person we ever met?
Most famous person we ever met?
Yeah.
I don't know, like probably with other DJs. I guess I go DJ Snake or maybe.
What's the name of? Oh, we didn't meet him, but we saw him at the airport. Chris Traeger, right?
Yeah, Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe.
Oh, we also sat in the in the back. In Business Club we sat. Jessica Chastain sat next.
Yeah.
In front of us
Yeah.
once. But I mean, I'm not gonna say anything to her. She was clearly trying to be private, but it was pretty clear that was her.
Then I took that selfie with De Jong at the airport. Sometimes at the airport we see.
Oh, no one knows De Jong.
De Jong is a
Nigel
Dutch-
De Jong.
Nigel
Nigel De
de
Jong.
Jong.
He played for Manchester City. He was in a plane once too.
I think he plays now for LA Galaxy.
No, I think he's retired now.
Or he's
But he did
retired?
play. He was in the Dutch national team.
Yeah.
And obviously, like DJs, Martin Garrix, I guess, is up there too. We've met most of the guys. Would you describe yourself famous? No. No, we're in the dance music community. We're probably decently well known, which we appreciate for our music. But now we can walk the streets. We're good. How did you guys first feel about joining Monster Cat? You know what? Monster Cat released our first ever single ever,
Yeah.
which is Harmony. And I don't know if any of you guys watching right now still know Harmony, but that was our first single. And back in that day, we were working for less than a year, and Monster Cat was operating for less than 2 years. So we were both just entering the scene, like in a similar time.
Yeah.
And they were pretty small, and we were very small. And so they took our first song, and since then, we're close. Like it's good to be with a label from like the really early beginnings, and we appreciate all the stuff they've done for us. And we've had some really Nevada's on Monster Cat, and that's one of our biggest songs.
Yeah. They're all
Harmony.
very nice guys.
People are liking Harmony.
Harmony. Whoa, old school fans. Nice.
Yeah, that's 2012, and it's 2019 now, 12 years. So
Yeah.
I mean that's 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God, unbelievable.
It was fast. Do you still watch YouTube tutorials for music production?
No, I don't. Do
No,
you?
just like when a new synth or plugin releases sometimes.
We go to the I go to the manual most of the time.
Yeah, but like with Sooth, it was first on YouTube, right? Like the preview.
Oh yeah, Sooth is a
Yeah.
really great plugin. No, I went to the manual. Like honestly,
Yeah.
the manual is written by the people who made it, so they know exactly how it works. And sometimes FabFilter has really good videos on their plugins with some really cool tutorials. But manuals, RTFM. If you don't know RTFM, it's abbreviation for read the fucking manual. Best thing to memorize. If you have a plugin or any type of software or anything, read the fucking manual. RTFM. Astronomia. Okay, guys, we have like 5 to 10 minutes left. Get your questions in fast, and give us some unique questions. How often do you argue amongst each other?
Damn, less and less.
It happens very occasionally.
Yeah.
But usually, because we've been friends for 10 years now, it's not something that is very difficult to solve. And when it's music related, we usually, if there's like a musical argument or like a disagreement, we go, okay, let's sleep on this. The next day we come back, and then we review the options that we have, like different melodies or different chords, and then we make a decision based on what we think then is the best thing. And we always
even though we never argue about melodies.
no, we're like on the same line.
Yeah.
And that's honestly just luck, to be honest. What do you think is better to produce first? Melody, harmony, rhythm, in what order? There's never a hard rule. Never. Like it doesn't know. I don't even usually have like a routine or something.
It works now again. Is it still live?
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Oh, are we back?
Oh, it's filming. What the hell, man? What
That's
the fuck,
so
man?
weird.
Stupid. Do you think the EDM scene has been disturbed after 2018? What happened in 2018?
I don't know.
You have to give us more information on that. We also, like, we're not the type of people who follow every news article about EDM scene. We like to live in our own little bubble almost, like our own little world. And the reason for that is that every time we like to make music, I like to think of nothing else, no responsibilities, no, adult shit. I just want to be like in our own little world. Just the only thing that matters is just making music.
Yeah.
And following all the stuff that happens in the world with politics and stuff is sort of the counter to that, which we still do sometimes, but man, it's so much nicer to be naive. Ignorance is bliss.
Especially if you're in the studio just making music, being creative.
Definitely. Your songs cover a lot of music styles. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. What is happening with the camera? Alright, things are not going well here.
Yeah, should we end this one? Because I don't know what's happening.
You don't know? Oh, it's back!
Yeah, it's so weird.
Okay. I don't know what's happening with this camera. We need to buy a new one. Hey, we can buy a really... Yeah, we can buy a nice new one.
It's a good reason to buy a new one.
So, you know what? We've streamed for an hour. Let's just... If this fucks up again, we're gonna all press F in the chat, and then we're gone. We're going to the Best Buy. We're getting a new camera. So, last questions. YouTube, go. Instagram, go. Last questions. Let's wrap this up.
Firestone camera.
We need to buy a new
original
camera,
mix.
man. Which cars do you have? Who cares? Seriously, who cares about what car you drive? I really don't get it. Oh, I drive a Ferrari. Oh, good for you. Who cares? It's a car. It gets you from point A to point B. Who cares? Like, we like Tesla cars just because the technology is so cool and it's electronic. But like it's not like we can't afford one. But why would we spend that much money? I don't give a fuck about cars, man.
No.
Seriously.
We're spending on music gear.
Yeah.
Or processor.
Yeah.
You know?
Get like a nice rig, overclock that, and now your Ableton projects are just off the roof. What did you have for tea? Lake Snake. Excellent question. Lipton Morocco Mint. It's the bomb. It's the bomb.
That's one we also import from Holland.
Tea.
Yeah, tea.
I love tea.
Explore cities or explore nature? Ooh, that's a interesting
I think
question.
we've explored so many cities that nature will be a nice change.
Nature.
Although that does get... No. Nature doesn't get boring, assuming you have variety, right? I feel like... Trust me, that's one of the easiest part. I like your hair. Thank you, that's so nice. Finally some positive comments here.
Mine too.
No.
I fixed it.
I fixed it, okay.
I fixed it. So, I mean, that was it. Yeah.
We're gonna get a new camera. Yeah, F in the chat. Okay. Alright, I see what you guys doing. We're back. We just wanna say... we just wanna say thank you.
Yeah.
And
It was nice speaking to all
everyone
of you
say
again.
goodbye to this camera because we're buying a new one. It's done now. He's overheating. Oh, I'm so warm. Okay.
I'm
Okay.
filming 1080p.